What does the Bible say about the Ark of the Covenant? What does the Bible say about the Ark of the Covenant? The Ark of the Covenant is a sacred object mentioned throughout the Bible, mostly in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. It is a gold-covered wooden box containing the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the 10 commandments that were given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. The Ark is also believed to contain Aaron's rod, a jar of manna, and the tablets of the covenant. In the Old Testament, the Ark is described as a symbol of God's presence among the people of Israel, representing his covenant with them. The Bible describes it as a sign of God's faithfulness, and it is often associated with holiness, power, and protection. The Ark was a highly important item in Jewish culture and tradition, and it was believed to be a symbol of God's presence and protection with the people of Israel. What does the Bible say about the Ark of the Covenant in the Bible? The Ark of the Covenant is a special object that symbolizes the relationship between God and Israel. The Ark was built by Moses to hold the 2 tablets containing the 10 commandments. It was made of acacia wood and covered with gold. The Ark of the Covenant is mentioned many times in the Bible and is a symbol of God's mercy and the importance of his covenant with Israel. Timeline of the Ark of the Covenant. Construction of the Ark of the Covenant. c. 1300 BCE, the Ark of the Covenant was constructed by Moses and the Israelites at the command of God, after the Israelites had escaped from slavery in Egypt. The Ark was made of acacia wood and covered in gold, and it contained the tablets of the 10 commandments, placed in the tabernacle, c. 1280 BCE. After it was constructed, the Ark of the Covenant was placed in the tabernacle, a portable temple of the Israelites. The tabernacle was a tent-like structure that was used as a place of worship. Ark brought to Jerusalem, c. 1000 BCE. After King David conquered Jerusalem, the Ark of the Covenant was brought to the city and placed in the Temple of Solomon. Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem, 587 BCE. The Ark of the Covenant was lost when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the Temple of Solomon. Reappearance of the Ark, 2 Chronicles 35:3. After the Babylonian destruction of Jerusalem, the Ark of the Covenant was seen again in the time of King Josiah. It is unclear what happened to the Ark after this time. Disappearance of the Ark, c. 70 CE. The Ark of the Covenant is believed to have disappeared when the Romans sacked Jerusalem in 70 CE. It has not been seen since. The mercy seat of the Ark of the Covenant. The mercy seat is the lid of the Ark of the Covenant. It is made of beaten gold and is in the shape of 2 cherubim, one on either side of the lid. It was on the mercy seat that the high priest sprinkled sacrificial blood on Yom Kippur to atone for the sins of the people. The mercy seat symbolized the mercy and love of God for his people. The mercy seat, also known as the Kapporeth, was the golden lid of the Ark of the Covenant, the most sacred object in the ancient Hebrew faith. It was a symbol of God's presence among his people and a representation of the covenant that God made with them. The mercy seat was made of solid gold and was placed on top of the Ark of the Covenant, signifying that God was present and available to offer his mercy to his people. The mercy seat was a reminder to the Hebrew people that God was with them, and that he was available to provide mercy, comfort, and guidance. According to Exodus 25:17-22, God commanded Moses to build the Ark of the Covenant and to place the mercy seat on top. The mercy seat was a symbol of the covenant between God and the Hebrew people, and it served as a reminder that God was present with them. The mercy seat was also a place of atonement. According to Leviticus 16:1-2, on the Day of Atonement, the high priest would enter the most holy place and sprinkle blood on the mercy seat as a sign of atonement for the sins of the people. The blood symbolized the life of the people, and the act of atonement was a way of showing God that the people were sorry for their sins and were willing to accept his forgiveness. The mercy seat was a powerful symbol of God's presence among his people and of his willingness to forgive them. It was a reminder that God was available to provide mercy and comfort, and that he was willing to forgive those who were repentant. The mercy seat was an integral part of the Ark of the Covenant and was an important symbol of God's relationship with the Hebrew people. The significance of the Ark of the Covenant for God and Israel. The Ark of the Covenant was a tangible symbol of God's covenant with Israel. It represented the presence of God among his people, and it was where his word was kept. It was a reminder of God's mercy and love for his people, and a reminder of his promises to never forsake them. The history of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was constructed by Moses and the Israelites at the command of God. It was made of acacia wood, covered with gold, and was to contain the 2 tablets with the 10 commandments. The Ark was carried through the wilderness and was a symbol of the presence of God with his people. The size of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is described in the Bible as being about 3.5 feet long and 2.5 feet wide. It is not known exactly what materials it was made of, but it was likely made from acacia wood and covered with gold. Materials used to build the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible mentions that the Ark was made of acacia wood, a type of hardwood found in the Middle East. It was covered with gold and had 2 cherubim made of gold, one on either side of the lid. Gold, Exodus 25:10-11. The Ark was made of acacia wood, plated with gold on the inside and outside. Acacia wood, Exodus 25:10. The Ark was made of acacia wood, plated with gold on the inside and outside. Bronze, Exodus 27:2. Bronze rods were placed through 4 rings of gold on the corners of the ark. Rings of gold, Exodus 27:2. Bronze rods were placed through 4 rings of gold on the corners of the ark. Cherubim figures, Exodus 25:18-20. 2 cherubim figures of gold were made and placed on the top of the ark with their wings spread over. Mercy seat, Exodus 25:17-21. A mercy seat of solid gold was made and placed on the top of the ark. Tablets of stone, Exodus 25:21. The tablets of the 10 Commandments were placed inside the ark, carrying instructions for the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible specifies that the ark was to be carried on the shoulders of the Levites and not on a cart. It was to be covered with a cloth and was not to be touched. The location of the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible mentions several locations for the Ark of the Covenant. It was kept in the tent of meeting, in the Temple of Solomon, and in the second temple, in the tabernacle of Moses. Exodus 25:10-22. After God gave Moses the specifications for building the tabernacle, he commanded Moses to build an Ark of the Covenant to house the tablets of the 10 Commandments. In the wilderness, Numbers 10:33-36, during the Exodus, the Ark of the Covenant was carried by the Levites in the middle of the Israelite camp. In the plains of Moab, Deuteronomy 10:6-8, after the Israelites left Egypt, they camped at the plains of Moab and the Ark of the Covenant was taken there. In the Jordan River, Joshua 3:3-17, as the Israelites prepared to cross the Jordan River, the Ark of the Covenant was carried in the front of the procession. In the city of Jericho, Joshua 6:1-20, the Ark of the Covenant led the procession around the city of Jericho for 7 days before the walls of the city came down. In the city of Shiloh, 1 Samuel 4:1-11, after the ark was captured by the Philistines, the Israelites brought it back to the city of Shiloh where it stayed until it was transferred to the city of Jerusalem. In the city of Jerusalem, 2 Samuel 6:1-15, King David brought the Ark of the Covenant to the city of Jerusalem and placed it in a tent. In the Temple of Solomon, 1 Kings 8:1-9, after the Temple of Solomon was completed, the Ark of the Covenant was placed in the innermost chamber of the temple. Who built the Ark of the Covenant? The Ark of the Covenant was built by Moses and the Israelites at the command of God. It is not known who specifically built it, but it is likely that it was constructed by a skilled craftsman. Bible verses about the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible mentions the Ark of the Covenant many times in both the Old and New Testaments. There are several verses that emphasize the importance of the Ark and its symbolic meaning. The importance of the covenant to God and Israel. The covenant between God and Israel was of utmost importance to God and his people. It was a sign of his love and mercy and a reminder of his promises to never forsake his people. The Ark of the Covenant was a physical reminder of this covenant and its importance. What was in the Ark of Covenant? The tablets of the 10 Commandments. Exodus 25:17-21. These 2 stone tablets were inscribed with the 10 Commandments given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. A golden pot of manna. Exodus 16:33-36. This pot contained a special bread-like substance that God provided to the Israelites while they were wandering in the desert. Aaron's staff. Numbers 17:1-10. This was a rod that was used by Aaron, the brother of Moses, to perform miracles. A golden jar of anointing oil. Exodus 30:22-25. This was a special oil used to anoint and consecrate priests, kings and other important people. A golden incense altar. Exodus 31:4. This was a small altar used to burn incense and other fragrant substances. A golden table for showbread. Exodus 25:23-30. This table was used to hold 12 loaves of bread that were to be shown to God in the tabernacle every week. A golden lampstand. Exodus 25:31-40. This was a 7-branched lampstand that was used in the tabernacle to provide light. God's mercy is reflected in the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant symbolizes the mercy of God for his people. It was a reminder of his love and mercy and a reminder of his promise to never forsake them. The mercy seat was a symbol of the atonement for the sins of the people and the mercy of God for his people. The symbolism of the Ark of the Covenant in the Bible. The Ark of the Covenant was a symbol of God's covenant with his people and of his mercy and love for them. It was also a symbol of the presence of God with his people, and a reminder of his promises to never forsake them. What happened to the Ark of the Covenant? The Ark of the Covenant has been lost for centuries and its current whereabouts are unknown. It is believed that it may have been taken by the Babylonians or the Philistines, but its exact location is unknown. What is the purpose of the Ark of the Covenant? The Ark of the Covenant was a physical reminder of the covenant between God and Israel. It was a symbol of God's mercy and love for his people and a reminder of his promises to never forsake them. It was also a place where the 2 tablets with the 10 Commandments were kept. Who can touch the Ark of the Covenant? The Bible specifies that only the high priest can touch the Ark of the Covenant. No one else is allowed to touch it, and it must be handled with great care and reverence. Who stole the Ark of the Covenant? It is not known who stole the Ark of the Covenant. It is believed that it may have been taken by the Babylonians or the Philistines, but its exact location is unknown. How does the Ark of the Covenant symbolize Jesus? The Ark of the Covenant is a symbol of God's mercy and love for his people. It is also a symbol of Jesus, who took on the sins of the world and was crucified on the cross. Just as the high priest sprinkled sacrificial blood on the mercy seat to atone for the sins of the people, Jesus shed his blood on the cross to atone for the sins of mankind. What happens when the Ark of the Covenant is found? If the Ark of the Covenant is ever found, it is likely that it will be placed in a museum or other public display. It is also possible that the Ark may be used in religious ceremonies or kept in a secure location. First mention of the Ark of the Covenant in the Bible. The first mention of the Ark of the Covenant in the Bible is in Exodus 25:10-22. In this passage, God instructs Moses to build the ark and specifies the materials and size that it should be made of. Final thoughts. What does the Bible say about the Ark of the Covenant? The Ark of the Covenant is an important symbol in the Bible. It was made by Moses and the Israelites at the command of God and was a symbol of his covenant with Israel. The mercy seat symbolized the mercy and love of God for his people and the importance of the covenant between him and his people. The Ark of the Covenant was a tangible reminder of God's mercy and love for his people and a reminder of his promise to never forsake them. The Bible mentions